Welcome back to First Listen, that series where we listen to an album that neither of us have heard for the first time. However, today we're here with Machine Gun Kelly's Tickets to My Downfall, an album that I've spoken about many times. I've heard it, but Tim hasn't.
This is MGK's fifth studio album, but surprisingly his first venture into the pop-punk world. It was produced in collaboration with Travis Barker of Blink-182 fame. I'm somewhat excited to see what I think about this. I've heard really good things about the album. I've heard not so good things about MGK. So let's jump straight into it with the first track, which is title track.
I genuinely think you'll really like a lot of this album.
His voice is one of those voices that just doesn't work with me.
You've got to get through that.
No, I'm getting past it. I'm gonna do a clean slate here.
I love the way it slows down for a second with those guitar notes, but then straight back in.
It's just like every style of pop punk in one track so far. Everything you can expect from like a Blink album in one song.
Travis Barker said we're doing everything.
Yeah, doing it all. Should we do pop punk? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, a little reprise of the acoustic guitar in the outro. Reminiscence of the intro. What I really like about that is it's called title track, and he didn't just call it Tickets to My Downfall, but the general message was Tickets to My Downfall. That was pretty cool.
High energy introduction to the album, real pop punk. Straight away, I'm kind of imagining I'm back in time. Listening to this, you know Travis Barker's there, and that pop punk feel just shines through properly.
Yeah, this is immediately slap you in the face Travis Barker production. You can tell straight from the get-go, this is a Travis Barker production. You remember back in the day when he used to do the Soulja Boy cover on drums? Yeah, you know what? That was good. I liked that. I enjoyed it.
Let's go on to the second track, Kiss Kiss.
That was a pretty cool, filter over the top, go straight into the more open sound. Talking a lot about kind of narcotics and alcohol and drugs and all of that kind of stuff.
Oh, typical. But one thing I've picked up about this song straight away, I really like the way that the drums sound quite raw in the background. It's like they were recorded on the other side of an echoey room almost.
Yeah, it sounds like they've got microphones set up somewhere in the room and an actual acoustic drum kit somewhere. Yeah, that's cool. What's cool is there's a tiny bit of distortion on the bass guitar. Just a tiny amount, but it makes it sound so much punchier in the background. Not a huge fan of those chorused vocals. They sound very chanty rather than pop punk like ooh-oos. It sounds a lot more ooh-oos. Japanese music. It sounds a lot more like it's in the style of like an indie song kind of chant. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I'd say this is less energetic than the first track overall anyway, but I'm quite liking how it's building up at least at the minute.
Love a little guitar interlude. No problems with that.
It's proper chanty, especially with the claps.
Very repetitive though. Said this about 18 times now. So, that song, in general, not the worst thing I've ever heard. I have a very major problem with how repetitive it is, though.
The chorus is repeated a lot. I agree. It's made to be chanted back at MGK, isn't it?
All I can imagine is if I was somebody that had to perform this song every night on a tour, it would drive me insane the amount of times I had to repeat those words.
I mean, to be honest, I feel as though this wasn't one of the bigger ones from the album, and that's probably one of the main reasons why. But I still like the production. I thought they did a good job of building it up and down without it ever straying too far from the path, if that makes sense. There was some slightly calmer moments, but it still felt quite punky.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But let's move on to the next track, which is Drunk Face.
Very different feel.
The lyrics are a lot more classic pop punk now.
Good bass work.
I like that kind of ghostly voices going on. That's cool. That's cool. I thought that was better than the last song, but again falls foul of that heavy repetition.
I also think, though, most songs have a verse and then a chorus and a verse and then a chorus. Every pop punk track does this.
I understand that, but the lyrics were the same throughout the entire song. I don't think
they were.
I don't think there was that many verses, though. I think the verse was like 4 bars.
I don't think that was too dissimilar to any other track that's 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. Well, there's a couple of choruses and a couple of verses. Personally, I really like the production on that one. I think in terms of the flow of the album, it takes us from quite heavy, aggressive kind of punk rock, not heavy, aggressive punk, pop punk, to more chilled, like electronic almost style influences.
Yeah, I thought the production was really good. I was going to mention that the instruments sounded really nice, and there was that bit towards the end where they kind of have the ghostly voice, and they had the layering of him saying something with him saying a different line underneath. Like the last time was "I have sinned, don't help me, Jesus." But
yeah,
that
the last chorus sounded completely different,
tucked away, and I would have preferred it if that had happened a couple of times throughout. But I understand what you're saying. Maybe I'm being a little bit too critical of it, but so far, title track was really good. These last two have been very albumy tracks for me, and that's okay. But we'll move on to the next one, which is Bloody Valentine, which I feel like I might have heard, but let's see.
The simulation just went bad, but you're the best I ever had. Like handprints in West Summit, she touched me, it's permanent. In my head, in my head.
My head, my head.
Surely that's a callback.
I'm liking this already.
Good progression.
Classic Travis. Here he is. Here he is. Oh, big swells. Big swells. Sweeping filter over the drums. I liked that.
I'm really liking how many different things are changing in the instrumental all the time. There's new guitars coming in, changing drum beats.
There's that synth swell again. You know that synth in the background? Do you not feel like that's feeling like very Killers-ish? I like it, but it feels very reminiscent of like a Killers track almost. I can't put my finger on which one, but it's cool. It's cool. also with those panning drums and that kind of stuff, I'm starting to realize more and more that this may be a Travis Barker project with MGK doing the vocals.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of California by Blink in certain moments.
And there's bits of Neighborhoods in there as well. That panning drums is very Neighborhoodsy. I like it.
There's like a spaceship of drums.
Oh, different drum pattern this time. Different drum pattern. I really liked the ending of that track then, because I think a really fun thing to do for your own audience is to have the na-nas going with a guitar line that's so obvious, so that when it is played live, the whole crowd can get involved because they know what na-nas to follow because the guitar's doing it as well, and it will just make this giant like crowd feeling.
Bloody Valentine's one of my favourite tracks on this album. I think it just works so well. As you say, maybe it's a little less repetitive than some of the other songs, but more so in how it's delivered. It's just fun, decent verses, guitar riffs, everything switching about. There's stuff coming in and out. The drum beat changes loads, kind of those swooping, swelling moments. I think it's a great pop punk track.
I think the production across it makes it stand out from the rest of the album so far. I think there's a lot of elements in there that were really cool. There was a lot of stuff going on, and yeah, all around good track.
Next up is Forget Me Too featuring Halsey.
You tell me you hate me, baby. Yeah,
I'm interested to see how Halsey features on this. Nice.
Heavy.
Straight in with that.
That's a
upbeat.
cool intro, though.
Yeah. That bass and drum and guitar, that carries it well.
And I feel like this is more bars for maybe the first time on the album.
Bouncy. That's a cool little guitar arpeggios there. I like that.
You want me to forget you? Okay, forget me too. You tell me you hate
That's classic pop punk there. That's classic pop punk.
You looked shocked then.
Impressed, I think. I love that guitar there. Love that guitar.
Works so well.
I think I prefer it with her singing at this point,
Of
to be
course
honest
you
with
do.
you. No, not even any dissing on MGK. I think Halsey's fucking pulled it out the bag with this feature.
It's worked really
This
well.
is insane, yeah. Oh, he's back, is he? Yeah, she's back. Travis is just going insane on those drums. Favorite song on the album so far?
You enjoy that one?
Yeah, I
Why?
really enjoyed that one. I thought that was a fantastic track. Not even just because Halsey pulled it out the bag. I thought MGK's part were great. Thought it was a lot more upbeat. It kind of suited MGK's style more. There wasn't a lot. There was a bit of repetition in there, but again, songs have repetition. I'm being too critical by saying that. I really enjoyed that. I thought it kind of brought the classic pop punk vibes, but what we're more used to these days in pop punk. Wasn't really like a 2000s pop punk. It was like a late 2010s pop punk. I think it did it perfectly.
I don't know why. Listening to this now, the Halsey lyrics kind of sounded like Kellen Quinn. Is that his name?
Yeah, from Sleeping with Sirens.
Yeah, just the high. It just reminded me of that, and it's also because MGK has a song with him in a different project, so maybe that's where I'm getting that from. But really enjoy that song. Again, I think we've kind of gone through a little journey in terms of we've had a bit of a chill moment. We've had what we expected. This felt like a more modern twist, especially because Halsey's such a big pop star as well. Really like it. Let's go on to All I Know featuring Trippie Redd.
Interesting, because they had, what was it, projects, what was it called?
Oh, I don't know, but that album was horrible.
It was dreadful. What was it called now?
I can't
It was
remember.
that bad that nobody can remember. Everybody knows what we're talking about.
But before we hit play on this, please do remember to hit like and subscribe. If you're a Machine Gun Kelly fan, if you enjoyed Tickets to My Downfall, let us know what your favourite track from the album is in the comments.
I'm not surprised that we got that more hip-hop edge on this one. With Trippie Redd being featured, I felt it had to be a little bit more in that style. I do like that bass in the background.
See, it actually works quite well here.
It's all right, yeah. It's made me kind of want MGK to come back into the track, though. But to give Trippie Redd his credit, I do think that his vocals can be quite good. There's a track he did with Moby. I can't remember what it's called, but I really enjoyed that.
I also remembered the album was called Genre Sad Boy.
That's it, yes. That's the one.
But I remember having listened to this in the past. Like, this isn't the best track on this album, but I was quite excited for Genre Sad Boy in a weird way, because I thought, oh, they could do something cool here, and then it let me down massively. But let's finish this.
A lot of writers on that song, which is surprising to me.
Trippie Redd, do you think he writes anything for himself?
Which is surprising, because his lyrics on this will particularly let me know if you know what something is. He was basically just asking the people listening if they could help him out with the lyrics.
I think this song is okay. It exists. It's quite nice production again. It's not particularly offensive, but it doesn't excite me in the same way that the others do.
I could see it being more appealing to the people that liked old MGK versus the rest of the songs on this album, albeit this also falls foul of MGK doing the slower delivery of lyrics, which I don't really like that much. When he's got his more upbeat tempo, I think it works a lot better.
Well, up next is Lonely.
I got in trouble the first time my dad saw me dance with the devil. How are we so opposite? I lived with your sister, my first home since mom had left, and I wrote my first song with him in the basement.
More emotional.
And he said goodbye way too soon. This don't feel right without you. Lonely, lonely, even when the room is full, I trade it. I would trade it all for you. Lonely, lonely, even when the room is full. She cried when she picked me up. Goddamn, how I miss her, 'cause she didn't give a fuck.
Feels like the first time I've really concentrated on the lyrics.
Yeah. It's a lot more introspective, isn't it? It's got a very lighter chorus.
The last time I saw you,
I like the distant drums. Kind of builds anxiety.
the last time I heard you, they held the phone, you took your last breath. Lonely, lonely, even when the room is full, I trade it.
Like that. I like that drop out just to give it a bit more of an impact when it comes back in.
I hate this, I'm jaded, and I trade it all for you.
I don't know what it was, but he had a heart problem, and they didn't think he would live.
I guess that's some kind of recording of his dad, who the song was about. I really liked the emotional switch up here. I thought that it changed the theme of the album quite well. And the progression of the song in the way it built up, especially in that final section, was really good.
Yeah, I thought it was really introspective. I thought the lyrics were good. I think the way that he kind of approached the subject matter was nice. It was quite unique in the way that it was delivered. And I think that's the way that he should be delivering his more slower, heartfelt songs. I think that works.
Liked that one. We're on to World War II up next, or WWII. Or is it 3? World War III. This is a minute.
Crazy synth going on there. So very Blink.
That's kind of like an injection of energy after a relatively chill track.
Yeah.
He had
the sad track, and then he was like, right, let's get back into World War III. We're going to do a minute of just craziness. And that's actually followed up by Kevin and Barracuda, which is an interlude, but that's 1 minute 23. So that's two of the shortest tracks on the album, one after the other.
I really liked that, though. I thought World War III was pretty World War-like. Let's go on to Kevin and Barracuda. See if you work out who the feature is.
Yo.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, Pete, before we start, can you just give me some beep
Says
boops,
it.
beep boo boo?
I already knew who it was going to be.
Roger. No, I'm gonna be Kevin, dude. I want to be Kevin the alien.
Why was mine such a bad name? Mine was Barracuda.
Kevin and Barracuda, dude.
I'm like coming down off mushrooms, by the way.
Oh, that's great.
I can hear this water running. Hold on.
Don't forget, bring the weed.
What was that?
It was just a little interlude.
It wasn't very good interlude.
No, it was just him and his mate on a phone call.
I know, but
But the point of it is, the next track that just started playing is Concert for Aliens.
I understand
so it's
that.
them, I guess he was just high and having a laugh saying, come up with these alien names.
Wasn't necessary, was it? Let's move on. Is this kind of like how Neck Deep have their alien song that's based on Aliens Exist? Is this what this is as well?
I don't know. Maybe pop punk bands just love aliens for some reason. I
It's
mean,
probably all the weed, let's be real.
yeah, all the drugs, all the weed, all the touring, looking up all the time.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
I feel like the song needed this moment of break. I wasn't sure what to concentrate on
That
anymore.
bass tone is so nice. It all just sounds so Travis Barker, though. It's just Blink. Some more nice guitar work. I do like the guitar work across this album. Give him that.
From what I remember, this was one of the first singles that came out, or maybe even the first, where it was MGK and Travis Barker, and I was so excited when I saw this, and I heard this. I was like, I like this sound. Where can this go? I also think we've mentioned loads of times how it's very Travis Barker production, but really, this was the start of that. Like, think about it. This was 2020 now, and obviously he had an influence in the earlier Blink projects and stuff, but this is really where that Travis Barker pop punk sound became a thing. This was the first one that he did that got number one and was massive.
When I'm saying the Travis Barker influence on it, I'm talking more from a Blink standpoint. I'm talking like, you know, like the mid 2010s Blink that we had. It feels a lot more in that style, like even with the bass tones, with the drum style. Obviously the drum style, you can't do much about that as Travis Barker. That's just how he sounds. He's just that unique of a drummer. To be that good of a drummer, that your sound is unique, that anybody knows you're drumming, which is an instrument that doesn't have a certain way of playing it. It's very good. It's very telling of how talented he is. And I don't think it's a deficit. I think it's a good thing.
It's definitely an addition. I think that the pairing so far has worked pretty well. But up next, we've got another feature in Black Bear on My Ex's Best Friend.
You walked in my life at 2 a.m. Cause my boy's new girl is your best friend. Act like you don't see me, we'll play pretend.
With Black Bear being on it, I expected this more kind of hip-hop styling.
Now we're in the backseat of the black car going home when she asks me, is it wrong if I come up with you? We're both drunk on the elevator when I kiss
Oh, that floor tom is... Oh.
I swear to God, I never fall in love. Then you showed up and I can't get enough of it. First off, I'm not sorry. I won't apologize to nobody. You play like I'm invisible. Girl, don't act like you ain't saw me. Last year was a mess and how I acted was beyond me. But
More poppy than the rest of the album, innit, by Country Mile.
But now shit's done changed. Go our separate ways.
I'm kind of liking that low-range filter added into the voice, though. It adds this cool little dynamic to it, which usually I would find cheesy. On this, it sounds quite good, though.
I swear to God, I never fall in love.
You must have heard this before.
I can't get enough of it. I swear to God, I never fall in love. I read those texts that you sent to yours, but I'll never say it, yeah.
This was the most commercially successful song off the album, and I can see how a mainstream audience would just quite like it on a radio.
I thought it was really vapid and bland.
I don't particularly hate it. I don't particularly love it. I think that it's easily accessible. It's not really a pop punk track. It's just a radio track that exists.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm surprised you've never heard this before. You'll have to check because I don't have Spotify. This is pushing 1 billion streams.
Really?
It is massive.
I mean, I've done everything in my power to avoid listening to MGK, to be fair, so it doesn't surprise me that I've not heard it. But interestingly, Black Bear's part on it was actually my least favourite part. I thought the way that he was kind of spitting over the instrumental didn't work right. It didn't sell itself properly.
I really don't think it's as bad as you're making out here.
I didn't like that track. Also, the fact that there's infinitely more writers on that track than any other ones. Well, I mean, Trippie Redd had it as well. It's just interesting that whenever he brings a kind of rap adjacent artist in, a hip hop adjacent, let's say, I don't know what you want to call it. Don't flame me for getting the wrong genre. Immediately there's 4 or 5 extra writers on the track.
Yeah, that's pretty standard though in this kind of...
I would say half of the tracks that I preferred on this had 3 writers on it, whereas these ones that are a lot worse have way more writers. But then, Too Many Cocks. Oh,
Too Many Cocks? What are they doing around here, lad? Why are they... they're not writing the song, are they? I thought that this was okay. Easy to listen to, but let's move on to the next track, which is Jawbreaker.
And he's already spoken about breaking somebody's jaw on a previous track, so this man has got an obsession with it.
Jawbreaker, she tastes like candy, star chaser.
About the sweets, Jawbreakers, I see. Oh, subverting expectations.
I just know them as gobstoppers.
True, yeah. There's 2 separate ones. Jawbreakers are smaller and harder. Gobstoppers are bigger and... yeah.
Quite like the little random guitar notes. It's a dancey one.
I think this following the track that it did made it seem better to me.
I think this is just straight to the point, less than 2 minutes, easy listening, pop punk, calm.
Just needed to be what it needed to be, really.
Yeah, I think it's a decent track. It doesn't wow me, but I quite like it.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
So we'll go on to the next track, which is Nothing Inside, featuring Ian Dior. Ooh, I like that riff.
The drums paired with the bass. It's giving it that thumping feel.
Not as heavy as you would think compared to a lot of songs.
Who is Ian Dior? Who is Ian Dior?
An artist? It's just, I don't even really know myself. I thought his feature works quite nicely though. It fits in with the flow. Completely changed the feel there really well.
You know, I quite liked that. I thought Ian Dior came with a really good feature. I thought it paired with MGK's voice very well. I thought the production was good. The electronic elements on the track were really good. All round decent track.
I really liked it, especially that end section there where the production dropped out a little bit and you kind of, I felt like I got a moment to realise everything that was going on in the background, the entire track. And then there was a section in the middle where it dropped out as well. As you say, I think them two worked really well together.
One thing I was waiting for, though, I think it could have done with one of the choruses to just open up fully, because it felt like it was just filtered. There was just a slight, it wasn't quite fully what it could be. I think there was a lot more potential to be had in that track, but that doesn't make it a bad track. I thought I quite liked it.
Well, we're on to the final two tracks. Before we do listen to those, please do remember to hit like and subscribe. But up next is Banyan Tree, another interlude.
If this is talking to Pete Davidson again.
I hope it is, just for your sake.
You want to listen to the interlude while we sit here?
Yeah.
Let it on. Can you, remember this stuff that you do with me?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know, because you're so high, you get really drunk, so I don't know if you remember it.
Of course I do.
Okay.
I cherish it. I burn other memories just to make room for those ones.
Okay. That was 4 months ago. That we were right here and I met you. That's not possible. You just got my initials tattooed on you. And I got your nickname tattooed on me.
She loves a boy so much. She wants him to steal her breath. She loves a boy so much. She wants him to steal her breath.
Because also, if the world was coming to an end, I don't want to close my eyes without feeling like I lived.
Same.
Who's the voice on that track?
Megan Fox, I
I
think.
thought it was, yeah. Sounded a bit like Kim Kardashian. I was like, no, that's Pete Davidson.
No, I really like that. I actually, when the instruments kicked in, I thought it had quite a grand feel. It was a good interlude.
Yeah, I think that was a good interlude compared to the previous one. I think that's how you do an interlude. You can have your little pointless conversations in there that mean something to you. And the previous one was a lot more pointless. I don't know. I'd like
He's
that
had his
interlude.
best friend, he's
I'd
had
like-
his girlfriend, everyone's having
Yeah.
fun, and we're on to the last album, the last track, which is Play This When I'm Gone.
There's that Sounds like a
Submarine.
A submarine. Yeah, that's the one. I was gonna say spaceship.
Writing you this message just so I could say that I love you. I'm not gonna lie and tell you it's alright. It's alright. You're gonna cry and baby, that's alright. It's alright. I wrote you this song to keep when I'm gone. If you ever feel alone, you're gonna cry and baby, that's alright. It's alright.
I like the little bit of harmony that's going on there. There's a higher version.
Or high
going on.
All the places that I showed you. I'm 29 and society's eating
It almost
me
feels
alive.
like a bit of a fairy tale instrumental.
Yeah, a little bit.
This is the last time I'll ever open up my eyes. I apologize. I'm not gonna lie and tell you it's alright. It's alright.
Is it going to keep crescendoing?
You're gonna cry and
Feels like it
baby,
might. It
it's
could.
alright. It's alright. Miss you.
That harmony. That's good.
And I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. And I miss you. I miss you. I miss you.
Ah! It's too many MGKs.
He's missing you everywhere.
I think that was a nice little track to end the album on.
I'd probably say in terms of his more singing style tracks, that was the best of them. In terms of his vocals were really loud in the mix, but they actually sounded quite good. And a lot of his singing ones on this aren't particularly his strong points. But I liked that. I thought it was a good way to close the album out.
I thought the ending bit was very cool, having all those voices and all those kind of harmonies going on. But overall, yeah, I thought that was a very nice way to close it out.
Well, Tim, that was your first time listening to Tickets to My Downfall in full. Give me some honest thoughts, some honest reactions.
So initially, I was very impressed with the first 3 or 4 tracks. I quite liked those. I thought we're going in the right direction. There were some tracks in there that I felt were maybe lacking somewhat, but I understood what he was doing. It was mostly the features, to be fair. Trippy Red and Black Bear, both of those tracks, I really didn't like that much. But I would feel like those would be the tracks that did the most commercially well.
I know the Black Bear one did, but I don't think the Trippy Red one did. I really like a lot of this album personally. I think it goes in a few different ways where there's the more stereotypical pop punk, a really good feature from Halsey, who I think maybe has the best track on the album. It's between that and Bloody Valentine for me. Those 2 tracks, one after the other, is the best 2 in a row.
The Halsey track, 100% is my favourite on the album. I thought that was fantastic. I thought Halsey's feature was perfect for that track. And I will give it to MGK. His voice does suit the genre of pop punk. So it's quite sad to see that he may be moving that away from that very soon.
Yeah, I mean, his second album after this really wasn't as good. But also, sometimes you kind of run out of things to say. And I feel like in this, he was in a very dark time in life. He's talking a lot about drugs, alcohol, relationships, etc. And I think that fits the genre very well. You know, that kind of being young and out of control. I really like this. It's quite a reminiscent album for me. And I think that it's one that maybe a lot of people never gave a chance that they should give a chance. Would you say the same, having listened to it?
Yeah, so having listened to it, it was an album that I had never listened to previously for the reason that I was just staunchly against MGK for my own biases. There was no real reason. His voice kind of annoyed me a little bit. There was a couple of other things. There was the whole beef with Eminem. I'm a big Eminem fan, so that put me off immediately. Wearing Eminem merch right now. Actually, to do an MGK video. But I will say that if anybody hasn't listened to this album before that has been wondering about listening to MGK, this would be the one to listen to. His other rap stuff, there's a couple of rap songs I didn't mind that he did in the past. I thought this was all right, I'd say over 60% of these songs were decent.
Decent. Okay, well, very happy with that. Would you say it was that bad? A lot of people said he's switched genres, he's done an awful pop punk album. Would you say that it was that bad?
I don't think it was that bad. I think the reason why it didn't end up being that bad is because he had the powerhouse that is Travis Barker on this. And I think without Travis Barker, yeah, it would have been dreadful. But with Travis Barker in tow, you've got phenomenal work no matter what you do.
And if my nan had wheels, she'd be a bike. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you again soon.
And please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.